Master Guide, SAPSD, Availability Check, ATP, Controls. 1. Introduction to ATP in SAPSD. Available to promise, ATP, is not simply a query of, do we have stock? It is a complex logic engine that determines, when can we commit stock to a customer? Based on business rules, current inventory, future supply, receipts, and future demand, issues. For a consultant, mastering ATP means understanding the interaction between the material master, SD configuration, and MRP, material requirements planning. The two pillars of availability. 1. Availability check, ATP. A dynamic check performed at the time of order entry to see if the requested quantity can be confirmed for the requested delivery date. 2. Transfer of requirements, TOR. The process of passing this demand to MRP so production or procurement can act on it. Expert note: you can have TOR without ATP, but you usually do not have ATP without TOR. If MRP doesn't see the demand, the stock won't be replenished, and future ATP checks will fail. 2. Core architecture, the three-legged stool. The logic of ATP in SAP rests on three specific configuration elements. If any one of these is missing or misconfigured, the check will behave unpredictably. A. Checking group, availability check group. Definition defines how the availability check is carried out for a material. It acts as the traffic controller. Location, material master record, MM02, greater than sales, general or plant tab, OR MRP3 tab. Technical field, MTVFP. Key configuration, OVZ2. 01. Daily requirements. Aggregates multiple sales orders for the same material or plant or date into one record in the availability table, VBBS. Pro, high system performance. Fewer records. Con, you lose the link between a specific sales order and its requirement record. Harder to trace in MD04. 02. Individual requirements. Creates a separate record in the availability table, VBBE, for every single sales order line item. Pro, clear visibility. In MD04, you see the specific sales order number. Con, higher data volume. Expert advice: in modern S/4HANA environments, performance is rarely an issue. Always use 02, individual requirements, for finished goods to ensure transparency during troubleshooting. Use 01 only for low-value, high-volume parts like bolts or screws. B. Checking rule. Definition defines the transactional context of the check. SAP automatically determines this based on what transaction you are running. Hard-coded standards. A. Sales order, T-code VA01 or VA02. B. Delivery, T-code VL01N. BO. Backorder processing. PP. Production order. Why this matters. You might want strict rules for sales orders. Example: include safety stock, but stricter rules for deliveries. Exclude safety stock to ensure physical availability. C. Scope of check, the control matrix. Definition: the intersection of checking group plus checking rule. This is where the actual business logic resides. Transaction, OVZ9. Logic, checking group, O2, plus checking rule A equals scope of check for sales orders. Checking group, O2, plus checking rule B equals scope of check for deliveries. 3. Deep dive, configuring the scope of check, OVZ9. This is the most critical screen for an ATP consultant. We will break down every critical control within OVZ9. 3. 1. Stocks. Which inventory do we count? When SAP asks what do we have, you define the answer here. Include safety stock, setting. Check this box to allow sales orders to eat into safety stock. Consulting scenario: if unchecked, and you have 100 units total with 20 safety stock, SAP will only promise 80 to the customer. If checked, SAP promises 100. Best practice: usually unchecked for sales orders. A to protect buffer, but checked for production, PP to prevent line stoppages. Stock and transfer, stock moving between storage locations within the same plant, usually included. Quality inspection stock, setting. Include if your QA turnaround is fast and reliable. Exclude if QA frequently rejects items. Risk: if you confirm against QA stock and the batch fails inspection, you cannot deliver, resulting in a backorder. Blocked stock, almost always excluded. 3. 2. Future supply, inward movements. When SAP asks what is coming in, you define which documents constitute valid supply. Include purchase orders. If checked, a PO with a delivery date of next week is treated as available stock for a customer order due next week. Risk: vendor reliability. If the vendor is late, you break your promise to the customer. Include production orders for make-to-stock (MTS) scenarios. Crucial to include. Include shipping notifications (ASNs). More reliable than a PO because the vendor has confirmed shipment. 3. 3. Replenishment lead time (RLT). This is the single most misunderstood concept in SAP ATP. Check without RLT, the checkbox. If checked, check without RLT. The system checks stock and future receipts. If insufficient, it cannot confirm the order. It will propose a date of 31. 12. 9,999 or simply zero quantity. If unchecked, check with RLT. The system checks stock or receipts. If insufficient, it assumes I can just manufacture or buy more. It calculates the replenishment lead time from Material Master MRP or purchasing tabs and confirms the order at the end of that lead time. The trap: if RLT is active, the system assumes infinite capacity at the end of the lead time. Example: customer wants 1 million units. You have 0. RLT is 10 days. System confirms 1 million units in 10 days. Expert advice: for trading goods where supply is constrained, check without RLT. For manufactured goods where you can always spin up a new shift, check with RLT. 4. The ATP logic flow, backward and forward scheduling. Understanding how SAP calculates the date is vital for explaining results to users. Step 1. Backward scheduling. The customer requests a requested delivery date, RDD. SAP works backward from this date to see if the timeline is feasible physically. 1. RDD, example, 25th. 2. Minus transit time, route determination. 3. Minus loading time, shipping point. 4. Minus pick or pack time, shipping point. 5. Equals material availability date, MAD. The test: is the stock available on the MAD? Yes. Order confirmed on RDD. NO. Trigger step 2. Step 2. Forward scheduling. If stock is not available on the calculated MAD, SAP looks forward to the earliest date stock will be available, based on POs or prod orders, or calculates RLT. 1. New MAD date stock becomes available. 2. Plus pick or pack. 3. Plus loading. 4. Plus transit. 5. Equals confirmed delivery date. 5. Transfer of requirements. TOR versus ATP. You must configure TOR for ATP to work correctly in an integrated environment. Requirement classes and types. Requirement type: the label assigned to the sales order item. Example: 041 for make to order, 011 for make to stock. Determined by the item category group in Material Master plus item category in SO. Requirement class: OVZ0. The detailed configuration linked to the requirement type. Key fields in Rec. Class: Avail. Must be checked to switch on ATP for this specific process. Retransfer. Must be checked to pass data to MRP. Why is my ATP not working? Check the Procurement tab in the Sales Order line item. If the requirement type is missing or incorrect, ATP will not trigger. 6. Advanced Controls, Product Allocation, PAL. Standard ATP is first come, first served. In a shortage situation, your biggest, most important customer might lose out to a tiny distributor who happened to order 5 minutes earlier. product allocation prevents this. Concept: you assign a quota to specific customers, regions, or sales organizations. ATP checks two things. 1. Is there physical stock? 2. Does this customer have remaining quota? Configuration steps. Overview. 1. Field catalog. Define which fields you check. Example: customer group, sales district. 2. Allocation object. The bucket of quantity. 3. Allocation procedure. Links the object to the sales order. 4. Planning. You must upload the quantities planning hierarchy via T-code MC94 or similar. Expert note: PL is a hard stop. Even if you have 10,000 units physically sitting in the warehouse, if the customer's allocation for the month is 0, ATP confirms 0. 7. Backorder processing, BOP. When stock arrives, GR who gets it. By default, SAP does not automatically allocate new stock to old open orders immediately upon goods receipt. The stock sits there until 1. A new order claims it. 2. You run rescheduling VV2. Classic rescheduling VV2. This program sorts all open sales orders, usually by priority, then date. It releases confirmed quantities from low priority orders and reassigns them to high priority orders. Consultant tip: this is a destructive program. It can take stock away from a confirmed order, sending an unconfirmed update to the customer if a higher priority order enters the system. Always communicate this behavior to the business clearly. 8. S/4HANA Advanced ATP, AATP. If you are consulting on S/4HANA 1909, 2020, 2021+, you must distinguish between Classic ATP, everything written above, and AATP. AATP is a separate license item and includes: 1. Product Availability Check, PAC, the new engine for Classic ATP, optimized for HANA speed. 2. Product Allocation, PAL, integrated Fiori apps for managing quotas. 3. Backorder Processing, BOP, vastly superior to VV2. It uses strategies: win, top priority, VIP customers. Always confirm fully. Gain. Improve confirmation if possible. Redistribute. Can gain or lose. Fill. Don't steal from others, but take what's left. Lose. Give up stock to the winners. 4. Alternative-based confirmation, ABC. If Plant A is out of stock, automatically check Plant B. Substitution. 9. Troubleshooting guide for consultants. When a user says system is wrong, use this checklist. Scenario 1. I have stock in MMBE, but ATP confirms 0. 1. Check, scope of check, OVZ9. Is the stock in a storage location that is excluded? Is it blocked or restricted? 2. Check, COO9, availability overview. This is the most important T-code for ATP analysis. MMBE shows physical stock. COO9 shows ATP stock. Look at the CUM, ATP QTY column. If previous orders have reserved all the stock, MMBE looks full, but CO09 will show 0 available. 3. Check scheduling. Is the material availability date in the past? Scenario 2. The system confirmed the order, but we don't have stock. 1. Check RLT. Did the system confirm based on replenishment lead time? Look at the dates. If the date is exactly today plus lead time, RLT is active. 2. Check scope of check. Are you including POs? Did a PO get pushed out or deleted after the order was confirmed? Run VV2 to fix. Scenario 3. Availability control screen, PAC, didn't pop up. 1. Check material master. Is availability check set to a value? Example: O2. 2. Check schedule line category, VOV6. Is the avail checkbox ticked? 3. Check requirement class. Is availability checked there? 10. Implementation checklist, step by step. Use this when setting up a new system. Step transaction description action. 1 OVZ2. Define checking groups. Create O1 daily and O2 individual. 2 MM02. Assign to material. Assign O2 to finished goods in MRP3 tab. 3OVZ9. Define scope of check critical. Configure O2 plus A, SO, and O2 plus B, delivery. Decide on safety stock and RLT logic. 4OVZ0 requirement classes, ensure avail and rec transfer, are active. 5OVZG requirement types, map requirement types to classes. 6VOV6. Schedule line cats, activate availability check for categories. Example. CP, CN, 7VV2 job scheduling schedule BOP to run nightly to clean up inconsistencies. 11. Expert tips for resume and interviews. To sound like a true expert, use this terminology. I don't just look at MMBEI, analyze the C009 ATP situation to understand the delta between physical stock and committed stock. I have configured scope of check to differentiate between the sales view, customer promise, and the delivery view, logistics execution, to prevent picking failures. I am familiar with the implications of total replenishment lead time and how check without RLT impacts the confirmation logic for trading goods versus manufactured goods. I have transitioned clients from classic ATP to S/4HANA Advanced ATP, specifically utilizing the segment-based BOP, win or gain or lose strategies.